Coming up on Thunder Insider, it's been non-stop action for the Thunder, 5 games in 6 nights. That's a lot of basketball, so if you missed anything, we'll get you caught up to speed. Also, big man Nazr Mohammed flashes back to his youth, giving us the scoop on his NBA destiny.
I was 6'6", and when I was 13, 6'10", when I was like 16 years old.
And Bleeding Thunder Blue. Cole Aldrich and Reggie Jackson encourage donors to give blood at the Thunder's 4th annual holiday blood drive. We've got all that, and Steely mapped out the Chesapeake hotspots for you.
Major thumbs up, sort of thumbs up, or major thumbs up?
Major thumbs up.
Hello and welcome everyone to Thunder Insider presented by Integris Health. I'm Kelly Kroll alongside Thunder play-by-play man Brian Davis and 15-year NBA veteran and Thunder analyst Grant Long. Of course, Mike Steely and Matt Pinto will be along later in the show. Wow, what a week, guys. 5 games, 6 nights. The Thunder come away with it 5-0. Pretty remarkable.
Major thumbs up. Thank you, Steely. Major thumbs up to the Thunder defense. You go from Luis Scola to Kevin Martin to Tony Parker to Tim Duncan, just on down the line. Rudy Gay, we'll throw him in there. Those guys are either shooting 5 out of 18, or they may be shooting at a high percentage, but they're taking 5 or 6 shots a night. You're playing the Thunder defense, bring your lunch bucket. It's going to be an all-day job.
And I totally agree with that cast of characters that you just mentioned. You think about how this season started rapidly, and the guys really anticipated what the schedule was going to produce. They stepped up in a big way defensively, and that's the trademark, a hallmark of this ball club. A
very successful weekend for the Thunder, and it was actually Nick Collison who told me he was most impressed with the team's focus through the stretch. No bad stretches with major breakdowns. For the most part, the team played a tough 48 minutes each night, and here's what some of the other guys thought about the week.
We're not focused on game number 2 or game number 3, and until we get to that game, it's all about every day coming in doing your work. It sounds a little dull at times, but that's what our guys really love to do, and that's how they're wired.
Sefolosha, corner 3.
A team that was, one of the best teams in the league for a lot of years, and including this year, and they're going to be right there at the end. And Houston they were playing well at home, and beating a team back-to-back, the same team on consecutive nights, is not easy. But it was pleasantly surprised. I knew our guys were going to compete, and they were going to give everything they have for the 3 games, but you're hoping that you can win them all, and fortunately for us, we did.
When you think about the teams the Thunder faced during this stretch, you understand that their commitment to their daily routine, to get in game by game and approach it that way, it really helps this ball club be successful.
Yeah, I think you have to also understand, Grant, the culture of these young guys who grew up in the AAU system. So, they're not just playing 30, 35 games in a high school season. They're playing 100 games a year. So, Kelly, they know how to roll from one night to the next. It's part of their DNA.
No question. Kevin Durant actually told me he played 8 games in one day. He said this is going to be no problem. But one of the things we haven't had to discuss much when it comes to this team is injuries. The Thunder has been very fortunate when it comes to that area. But this week we saw Eric Maynor went down against Houston, and the verdict is a torn right ACL, and Eric will be out for the rest of the season.
It's tough. Eric, he runs the show for us when he's on the floor with that second unit, so he definitely was missed. But James stepped up. Nick was unbelievable out there dunking on people. So guys just kind of stepped up, and Reggie did a good job of just calling the plays, executing. He played pretty well too.
I spent some time with him at his house last night after we got back, just to give him comfort, and just to show him how much we care.
It's a tough thing to see because Eric was the point guard on what, for the early part of the season, has often been the Thunder's most effective unit. But kind of like the NFL, and Grant, I don't mean to be cavalier about this, but it's next man up. The thing that I'm impressed by is that the Thunder has had the culture to support that for Reggie Jackson and whoever else may get into that role.
Well, we go deep into what this team is all about, and that is having an opportunity for guys on your bench to be able to step up in a situation like this, and going even further in that, Sam Presti and his staff putting together a group of men that when in the the event that something like this happens, because we're dealing in professional sports and injuries happen on a daily basis. So to prepare for something like this, you hope that you may never have to get to it, but in the event that you do, to have the caliber of players that the Thunder have on their bench to be able to step right in and keep moving speaks volumes about the club.
It's certainly why we hear the coaches stress so much the team structure and having guys step in when someone does go down. And right now that's been Reggie Jackson coming in. We've seen him a few games now. I have a great story about this. You guys heard me tell you the other night. But Royale Ivey always goes through warm-ups with Reggie Jackson. He said afterwards, I walked in the locker room, the guy's writing down plays, going through them in his head, and I said, you know these already, Reggie. You're here because you can play basketball, and that's what we need you to do. Just go out there, play ball, and you know what? I don't want to play down your role, but you really are just a piece to this big puzzle.
Absolutely, and I agree with Royale Ivey to write down the plays, because you can't carry them. You're not like a quarterback. You don't keep them on your wrist when you're out on the court. So you have to go by your feel and go by your memory, because the paper, when you write it down, it doesn't help you on the floor. So good advice from a seasoned vet like Royale Ivey. And just like he said, he's a piece that makes this thing work. And when you think about a new guy stepping into a role very quickly, it's not him that has to make the adjustments. It's how the four guys around him make him feel welcome and put him in a position where he can be successful.
That said, Reggie has been in this role before. As a sophomore at Boston College, they're 15-16. The next year they win 20 games and they make a nice run in the NCAA tournament. And on a senior-laden team as a junior, he was the lead dog on that sled. So again, experience in college helping him probably with this experience as a rookie in the NBA.
Well, and you love seeing the guys come up and pat him on the back and tell him, good job. You know, he's doing a better job, feeling confident out there and more comfortable with the team. And now it's off to the east for the Thunder as we take a look at the upcoming schedule. First up, the Celtics in the Garden on the 16th. Then it's a Wednesday night showdown with John Wall and the Washington Wizards before wrapping up the 3-game road trip on Friday the 18th against the New Jersey Nets. What do you think, Brian?
Martin Luther King Day, a broadcast exclusive, by the way, on Monday on TNT National TV. But the Celtics team a little bit slow out of the gate, Grant. Paul Pierce, though, has been injured or was for the early part of the season. They're still kind of getting into a little bit of the sync. Doc Rivers and company still in training camp mode.
Well, and that's what this team is all about. They were lucky and fortunate to get Paul Pierce back. He's their cog, talking about it offensively, the catalyst that gets things going. In my estimation, the only player on that Celtic roster that can create his own shot. That's why he's so vital to their lineup. So to have him back definitely gives them an opportunity.
And now the New Jersey Nets, I mean, it's been kind of up and down for them too.
Triple overtime last December, baby!
You have to remember that game, and going into it, you also understand that these two teams, when they get together, they are very competitive. Now, they look a little bit different than they did last year with the addition to Darren Williams, but they are a team that's going to fight when they get on the court. They take on the personality of their coach, Avery Johnson, so you expect nothing but their best effort when they hit the floor.
Plenty more excitement coming up in the schedule, and we'll be coming right back on Thunder Insider.
Up next on Thunder Insider, we break down the second unit. These guys have been so effective, and Grant Long and Matt Pinto will tell you why. Plus, Nazr Mohammed goes one-on-one with Arjon Radigan. All that and more coming up.
I'm Kendrick Perkins. You're watching Thunder Insider.
Welcome back, Thunder fans. Don't forget to take part in our Watch and Win contest this season. Not only do you have a chance to win tickets to an upcoming home game, but you are also automatically entered to win a trip to see the Thunder take on the Lakers in LA. Just visit thunder.nba.com and enter the code 2198 or text the code to 68278 for your chance to win.
Joining us now, the radio voice of Thunder basketball, Matt Pinto. And guys, it's been a quick start for the Thunder. I think a lot of things can be contributed to that, but certainly the work this team put in the offseason is one of those. And we know Kevin Durant said in the offseason he wanted to up his assists, get his teammates more involved, and we're seeing that already.
He's multifaceted, and we're seeing that facet of his game really shine. He had 7 assists against San Antonio. He's been up over 5 a number of times this season, Grant, but he also still has the ability, when the team is a little sluggish, to take it over offensively. We saw that against New Orleans in a big road win to culminate the most recent run of success. But KD's seeing the floor. He's delivering the ball with purpose, on time, and on target, which makes everybody around him better.
You talk about the accuracy of his passing, and he wanted to increase his assist total, and that was the best way to do it. Put the guys in a position that once he passes it to them, all they have to do is put the ball in the basket, and that is something that he recognizes right away. And you talked about his ability to take over a game. what I like about Kevin Durant this year is that he's not forcing any issues. He's more than happy to let his guys go along throughout the game. If they need him to heroic, so to speak, he can step up in the fourth quarter and take over a game, but he's more than happy to play the role of team player throughout the game until they need him to do that.
He's got a level of confidence in his passing ability as well, Kelly. He's attempting to make passes in areas that we've not seen in the past.
Sorry about that, not to interrupt you. On the same accord, James Harden, watch out for this guy. He's elevated his game in every facet as well, I think. And Nick Collison told me maybe the biggest improvement he's seen has been his vision on the court, being able to slice through the double team, find his teammate, take the shot, whatever he wants to do, basically.
Well, 10 or so games in, Monty Williams, New Orleans head coach, declared him an all-star last night before the New Orleans game, which obviously raises some eyebrows. But James is playing an all-around game right now, Grant, and he is the stabilizing force off the bench in a big way.
Well, I think this is the best compliment I could pay James Harden, that he has done something that young players have a difficult time doing, and that is establishing a level of consistency, finding what he can do well and duplicate that every night. He seems to have found that secret, and he goes out with that same effort. You see him hook up with Nick Collison a lot of times, and they seem to have a great rapport. But James, in my estimation, being the facilitator, driving the ball to the basket, and getting to the free throw line, all of those things he can duplicate on a nightly basis.
You spoke about that chemistry between James Harden and Nick Collison, and not to take anything away from James, but certainly Nick Collison is a guy who, when he's on the floor, tends to make all of his teammates better.
Collison had the notion to say the other night, if guys weren't making any shots off of those screens that he was setting, he probably wouldn't be getting a whole lot of fanfare about it. But you know, Nick Collison is a guy who does all of the dirty work. We know that. He's added a lot of offense to his game this season, and I like the fact that they trust Nick Collison when he has the ball, whether it's on the perimeter or in the painted area, that he can produce baskets. And I think that confidence level, when you talk about going to the next level with this team, is what this team is trying to do. You need everybody on the team to be a viable offensive option, because defensively, you don't want to be the guy, or you don't want to be the team that all of a sudden, okay, we'll come off Nick Collison and allow him to try and beat us, because that's almost a disrespect to an NBA player when the defenses are geared to let you take shots. So good to see Nick Collison implementing some things new and actually applying them in the game.
We know how fundamentally sound he is in every phase. We talk about that all the time, but he's a skilled player as well. I mean, he was the Big 12 Player of the Year, the National Player of the Year collegiately, and he's feeling better physically going into the season than he has as a pro, which makes a big difference.
I think people forget that about him being the Big 12 Player of the Year.
Well, and just that he feels so good right now, so healthy, and it was him saying, oh, James Harden does all the hard work, and I said, Nick, I think setting those screens, some guys would say that's the hard work, but we'll have plenty more coming up. Stay with us.
Ahead on Thunder Insider.
From about 12, 13 years old, I just knew I was going to play in the NBA.
Welcome back, Thunder fans. It's time to vote your favorite Thunder players into the 2012 NBA All-Star Game in Orlando. Vote online at thunder.nba.com by clicking on the All-Star image today. There are no paper ballots this season, so go online to thunder.nba.com, and voting ends on January 31st. So remember, Thunder fans, vote Thunder and vote often.
A number of boys grow up wanting to play in the NBA, but as we know, only a few make it, and even fewer could tell you they knew they'd make it by the age of 10. Nazr Mohammed said he was one of them, and he's now with our John Radigan.
What's your description of the word team?
Team, a group, a unit that with one goal, that works together to accomplish that goal.
Mm-hmm. And this is a pretty good a focused team in that regard, isn't it?
Oh yeah, we're focused. I mean, we're focused on doing things the way Coach wants us to do them, playing together, playing hard.
How has this team progressed since you've become a member of it?
It's young guys who just come in, work hard, stay focused. I mean, young guys with an old soul. So it's just been a continuation of that. I mean, I was surprised with just the attention to detail young 22, 21, 23-year-olds pay, because at that age, I'm not sure I was that focused. So I think it's just been a continuation.
Describe what the sport of basketball means to you.
I mean, it means the world. I mean, this is something that at an early age, I realized that if I worked hard, for some crazy reason, I always thought, hey, I can be in the NBA. I don't know why, because it's a one-in-a-million shot, but I always felt that I was willing to put in the work. I mean, I've been consumed with it as far as, the training for it and being prepared. So, I mean, it's been a huge piece of my life.
And when did you said you were dreaming from a young age of being in the NBA, dreaming. But when did you start to realize this might be possible?
The crazy thing about it is I don't know why. Looking back now and knowing what I know now and knowing that there are players a lot better than me who have never made it. From about 12, 13 years old, I just knew I was going to play in the NBA. I don't know why. It's pretty crazy to even think back and believe that, but I was fortunate enough to get a chance to play against some other pro guys. I was so big. I was 6'6", and when I was 13, 6'10", when I was like 16 years old. So I got a chance to play against pros, and I just realized that I'm willing to put in, no matter what they ask me to do, I'm willing to put in the work. So I'm going to be in the NBA one day. It's crazy to think that, but I knew it at an early age.
Always great to sit down and talk to Nazi. And even with a hectic schedule, the Thunder players know how important it is to find time to get out in the community and give back. Recently, Cole Aldrich and Reggie Jackson stopped by the Cox Convention Center for the Thunder's 4th annual Holiday Blood Drive.
Exciting time for Oklahoma Blood Institute.
We'll get a picture here.
The week when we need more donors to come out, and the Thunder has helped us tremendously today.
We're just coming out here for the blood drive, coming around and signing some T-shirts, just encouraging everybody to come out and give blood today. How you doing? Good.
We're very concerned about having enough blood to take care of all the patients across the state that may need it in the coming days.
The need for blood is always high. You know, everybody to come out here and give blood is really a great thing. You know, everybody that's come out here and done that is really helping saving lives. I don't know if I have the strength.
With the Thunder giving the Rumble T-shirts away, the Thunder Girls coming out.
How you doing?
And now these players coming out this afternoon. Everyone is so excited.
I'm coming in. Good. The bouncy house may be the best invention for a big kid like myself.
Oh, it's fun, but haven't been in one for years, so I think me and Cole figured out it's actually more of a workout than we thought it was.
That's a workout.
Just like in the community, we do things as giving back to less fortunate. It's also the same cause. Everybody's just helping each other out, and I believe that's why Oklahoma is one of the greatest communities I've ever lived in.
Thunder up!
Of course, they got in on that bouncy castle action. Cole said it had been a while since he'd gotten to do that, but a great event and one that is so important to saving lives.
Ahead on Thunder Insider.
Ironically, the old number 7 club is new. So it's really the Jack Daniels new old number 7 club.
Almost missed it. We were looking for the old one.
Earlier this week, the Tulsa 66ers, a proud affiliate of the Oklahoma City Thunder, reacquired forward Curtis Sumter and guard Robert Vaden. Vaden scored in double figures, and the 66ers racked up a season-high 29 assists to beat the Maine Red Claws 108-83. Tulsa's next game is on the road against the Iowa Energy, and tip-off is set for 4 p.m.
The freshly renovated Chesapeake Arena is getting some rave reviews. From sparkling new floors to enhanced signage, the home of the Thunder is looking mighty nice. In this week's Stealin' the Mic, Steely gets us acquainted with all the new hotspots.
It is a brand new season of Thunder basketball. You know what? That means change is in the air. But really, there's not a lot of change with this Thunder roster this year. That's a good thing for the team. There is some change inside the arena, and that's a great thing for the fans because they're going to love what they see inside Chesapeake Arena.
Man, I'm just telling you, I've been so excited about seeing the upgrades, and they're as good as I thought they would be. Awesome.
I am just blown away. It looks amazing. I haven't been here in probably about 3 or 4 years, and it feels like a completely different stadium.
The new floor and the concourse, I kind of feel like when my mom got new carpet that I almost need to take my shoes off here or something. Nancy and Ruth, season ticket holders, give us your opinion.
It's very beautiful. Everything's brand new and it's awesome.
Looks wonderful. The floor looks great. The new screens look wonderful.
And here come the Thunder girls walking on the brand new floor. They are allowed to walk on the floor as many times as they would like, wherever they would like. Even the little Thunder fans are impressed. We have Luna right here. She loves what she sees in the arena with the changes. Luna, give us your review. I think that was 2 thumbs up. Ironically, the old number 7 club is new. So it's really the Jack Daniels new old number 7 club.
Almost missed it. We were looking for the old one. So we were walking along, but it looks great. Food's good, drinks are good, can't complain.
How about the Victory Club on the Cox Club level? Yeah, we got the chef here, Nacho. Tell us about the menu at the Victory Club tonight. This looks great.
Well, we have this new concept right here. So, mini restaurant with fine food.
This is big time. I think you could win Top Chef on Bravo.
I don't see why not.
Major thumbs up, sort of thumbs up, or major thumbs up?
Major thumbs up.
Give me a thumbs up then, like this. That's what I'm talking about, right there, yeah.
Poor Luna, she was speechless. The arena looked so good to her. Thank you so much, Steely, and thank you all for joining us here at our Oklahoman studio once again for another edition of Thunder Insider. We'll see you again next week with plenty more on Thunder basketball.